Um, hmm. I don't suppose anyone remembers where I left off. If anybody does, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just start someplace and hope it's the spot. So let me.
Last week you covered how devotee sees Krishna in all the elements.
How the devotee sees Krishna everywhere?
And the elements.
Okay, and did I finish that?
I'm not sure.
Okay, anyway. Okay, I'll start someplace. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya. Taksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, I think I was teaching this class someplace else. So it's really hard to keep up where I am, but I got the general gist of it. I'll just read one paragraph here. There is nothing other than him. Advayam Gyan Tattva Sri Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. The more we realize it, the more we will move away from hate and envy. We will relish rus more and more. When we develop this bhav, all will appear nice and we will like everyone. We'll go beyond good and bad, happiness and sorrow, and submerge in the ocean of Krishna Prem. Although lotus leaves touch the water, they never get wet. Similarly, the good and bad, justice and injustice of this material world will not affect the sadhaka anymore. So, I really like this book. Obstacles in Devotion. I met the sadhu who wrote the book, and he was a real Vaishnava. I was embarrassed how much respect he showed me. And when I took prasadam in his ashram, I felt like I was in like Jaiva Dharma. If you read that book, the sadhus and the kunjas, people honestly from their heart falling over each other to serve each other. And I remember after I took lunch, when I went to wash my hands and I came back, he kind of came running out of his room with this plastic bag and a white Kashmiri chadar and opened it up and put it over me and hugged me and and thanked me so much for coming. And his realization, and it is our philosophy, Taramadye, Savashreshne, Nama Sankirtan, Nira Aparade Poya Praya Premadan, that there are 9 items of devotional service, and of them, chanting his holy name is the best. And if it's done without offense, we could get prema. I just read that in the Sikshastakam prayers, which I teach on Tuesday to another group. So practicing bhakti is easy, but avoiding offenses is difficult. Because the hardest thing is not difficult things, but things that you don't want to do. It's not difficult to pay obeisances, but it may very be difficult. The process may be simply application is difficult in terms of whether you want to do it or not. So, he just explains and just lays it out in kind of militant, pure terms that we have to avoid offense. Even if someone offends you, if you think you're offended, then it's your offense, and he just will not leave any room for that kind of consciousness. And it's a beautiful thing. Vaishnava is a beautiful thing. We've all been in institutions, not knocking them, we need them, communities, etc. And how without this culture, there's so much conflict and hate, and then it's magnified by the internet. Prajalpa leads to offense. And it's so much part of our nature to the ego, superiority, which wants to aggrandize ourselves, and we want other people down. We enjoy criticizing others. It's so ingrained in us that we don't think we have it, but we're actually full of it. Of course, icha dvesha samutena dvandva mohena bharata. We're overcome with the dualities of desire and hate. That's the world. So, he keeps on saying, this is like impossible. There's one verse in Bengal that says, I thought, coming to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is easy, but when I heard the verse, Trinada pi sanichena, Torara pi saishtana, I knew it was impossible. Yeah. We have a great program here now. It seems it's going to be a once-a-week program, but there's this wonderful lady, sincere lady, chants 16 rounds, follows the principles. Not initiated yet, but she tried in different ways, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But she comes on Saturday, and I just can't even describe her talent. Only organic. Everything is so perfect. It's just amazing. She's also coming on Saturday because I'm leaving Sunday. So we took with Brahmatirtha this nice young man, now he's in his 40s, named David, really intelligent person. And Jai Jagannath comes, and then Sabyasachi, and then, but then they came to see me, and it's this point that do you have to be completely pure to go back to Godhead with absolutely no material desire? But Prabhupada said, if you chant 16 rounds and follow the regular principles and dedicate myself to movement, you'll go back to Godhead. So what I get from it, perfection is impossible. But mercy is possible. Yeah. But here, we don't expect the honorary degree, but Prabhupada's mercy, he gives many honorary degrees. That's all I could think of. But from this platform of teaching, we should understand we have to surrender. We can't surrender in the past. We can't surrender in the future. We have to surrender now. We have to surrender. Anyway, he says it's impossible, and then he keeps on telling him different things. Just look down and, never talk Prajapa, only talk about Krishna. Never find fault in anyone. And it's impossible. And he gives him another direction. And it's impossible. And then, he says, well, if it's so difficult, this is how you have to train your consciousness. Bahunam janmanam ante gyanavam papadyate vasudevam savam iti samatma sadulabha. The great souls, they realize Vasudeva savam iti, that Krishna is everything. He who experiences Bhagavan in every element and perceives all objects in him as the best devotee. It's the beginning practice to see God everywhere. It's the perfection of life to feel God everywhere. So this is called Advayam Gyan Tattva. There's nothing outside of the consciousness of God. And when you realize it, you move away from envy and hate. And then we feel this rasa more and more, and we'll love everyone. So every time Vivek hears these instructions and Guru is trying to tell him how to do it, he just says, well, everything you say is true, but how do I get this realization? How can I get rid of liking some and disliking others? It's a fact, the more you advance, the less you see things in terms of friends and enemies. The less you're advanced, the more you see things in terms of friends and enemies. So he says, I can understand that. He is the same and is present in every element but when it comes to practicing, I cannot do it. What shall I do? And Gaur Kripa, that's the spiritual master, he says, it's not as easy as we think. To bring this bhav in us, we must always keep the consciousness awake. Conscience is a very sharp weapon. In all our waking hours, we must constantly feel this bhav. When we move on the streets, we should awaken this feeling in us. Sri Bhagavan exists in every element. And we should indiscriminately respect everyone. Even if we see a fault in someone, we should think, it is my mistake. When Sri Bhagavan exists in everybody, how come I am superior to anyone? How dare I pick fault in someone else? We should evaluate ourselves constantly and correct ourselves. The Guru continue. We should be very careful to not lapse into fault finding. We should practice such bhav daily. Then gradually this bhav will become dense. You can see why I like this book so much. It's heavy. Because the absolute truth is heavy in the sense it doesn't conform to our present psychology and desires. And to embrace it, we have to give up some things that we don't like and accept some things. Give up some things that we like and accept some things that we don't like. Vivek Das, I am very much satisfied with your reply. Please tell me some more about the roadblocks in bhakti. Gaur Kripa. Chunada pi sunichena torora pi sahishnana amanina madanena kirtaniya sadahari. We should listen, and this is the manner, Listen, O Sarup and Damodar. Mahaprabhu said, listen, Sarup Damodar and Brahmananda Roy. In what manner should we chant? Trinadapi. We should be of superior quality, yet consider ourselves lower than a blade of grass. That's what is superior quality. Superior quality is humility. Superior quality is honesty. Superior quality is reality. And that reality is we're not that significant. In addition, we should be as tolerant as a tree. A tree never protests, even when cut, and never begs for water in spite of dying of thirst. It gives its bounties to whoever who seeks it. It forbears the sun and the rain, yet it protects others who seek its shelter. Similarly, a Vaishnav should be superior to all, yet be devoid of false ego. We must respect others, knowing that Sri Krishna is present in all, and yet not seek any respect for ourselves. If we chant in this manner, we shall get prema from the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, CC. Srimad Mahaprabhu has given great prominence to this Trinad Shloka. He has said, quote, we must always keep our gaze transfixed on this verse. How much we can follow this shloka, that's how much we will relish praying. Praying comes from humility. It's just so clear. I want Krishna. The great value, the understanding of God's preeminence, and the recognition of our insignificance, and therefore the hankering intensely for something we cannot qualify for, but we have to beg. That's bhakti. Vivekdas, you declared the word. However, I cannot practice the Trinadapi to the slightest extent. My great and good person is there no other way than this Trinadapi. I would like to follow that path you know. Gaur Kripa, no. This is the only door to enter the Bhakti empire. Until we bow down, it is impossible to enter through this door, because this door is pretty low and narrow. If we think, I cannot become so small, rather I will chant one more lakh Harinam, Bhakti Devi is saying, no, you cannot enter my empire by any other means. The day you become small, you come to me. Whoever has gone beyond this door has first proved himself an epitome of Trinadapi Bhav. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, the great author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, was Srimad Mahaprabhu's personal associate. Just see how humble he was. He wrote, I am a sinner worse than Jagai and Madhai. I am worse than a worm in stool. Whoever hears my name loses all piousness. Whoever utters my name commits a sin. CC. Vivek Das. Shall I tell you the truth? I am, after all, an intelligent person who can think and analyze. It hurts me to think I am worse than a worm in stool. How can that be? Gaur Kripa. See, the one who is really, and I mean really has obtained Bhakti Devi's Kripa. He always feels that Bhagavan exists in every element. He perceives only the good qualities in others. Let's try to understand this fact through a story. Once upon a time, a young man approached a Siddha Baba and begged for his kripa. The Mahatma told him, I will give you Diksha later. First, you do work for me. You search and bring me an object that everyone hates. The youth searched high and low for a hateful object. On the way, he saw some stool. He said to everyone, everyone hates it. Let me take it to Gurudev. As soon as he bent down to pick it up, he felt the stool talking indignantly. Oh, you dare You dare not touch me. Later I was Bog, fit for the Lord of God, fit for the Supreme Lord. You hate me? After entering your tummy, I became like this. Now everyone hates me. You are responsible for my sorry state. How dare you find me hateful? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I sacrificed myself to give you life, and in return you offer me hatred. You shameless creature, you dare not touch me. If I come in contact with you again, I don't know what more miserable state I will attain. The young man was shocked. He remained silent for some time and pondered. It is true. The stool was indeed superior before. I am responsible for its sorry state, so it's better than me. Meanwhile, he spotted a worm in the stool and said, all right, but what about the worm in the stool? Everyone hates it. I'll take it to Gurudev. As soon as he bent forward to pick up the worm, he felt the stool talking again. You there? Dare you touch it? You reduced me to this hateful state. Well, this worm will liberate me from this hideous form. It will eat me and mix me with the soil. I will mix with earth and help trees and plants to grow. They will blossom into beautiful flowers and fruits that the Lord will accept as seva. Once again, I will become blessed. The worm is my friend, and you think he is hateful? Who is great? You, who have reduced me to this horrible state, or the worm who will reinstate me to my glorious form? Will you be able to do what the worm does? You think you are a man, and so you have the right to feel proud? Go away. The youth bowed his head, paid obeisances to the worm and stool. He went to his Gurudev, hanged his head in shame, and stood in silence. Gurudev asked him, what happened? Did you bring me the most hateful object of all? The youth uttered a cry, threw himself at Gurudev's feet, and said, oh my Lord, I could not find a more hateful object than myself. Please forgive me. Gurudev smiled at him and said, my child, you have realized the truth. Come, let me give you diksha. Therefore you understand that the great devotee accepts only the good qualities of others. Sri Bhagavan has bestowed one or the other good quality in every living entity. Therefore, a devotee must see only the good in others and not consider his faults. The creation is like a machine. A machine has many parts. Every part plays a role, the same role in running the machine. Now, if you think the big part of the machine is doing more work and the small part is doing less, I will be committing a great mistake. If that small part stops working, the entire machine will halt. In the same manner, in Sri Bhagavan's creation, all living beings, big or small, are functioning according to his will. If I'm so ignorant as to think I am better than others, I am a fool. This is Maya illusion. When we gain Bhakti Devi's Kripa, we do not consider anyone small, rather we feel ourselves to be inferior. Just see how humble is Thakur. Just see how humble is Thakur Mahashayam Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Mosamya Patita Nai Tribhuvana Deko Chai Naratam Prabham Nam Dore. Look everywhere. There is none so fallen as myself. Please deliver me from these sins and take the name, the one who is purified, Narottam. See how humble Namacharya Haridas Thakur is. He never entered the Jagannath Mandir lest his touch should defile anybody. Srimad Mahaprabhu would celebrate with his devotees, while Haridas Thakur was capable of curing the Devatas, remain afar because he thought he was untouchable. One day, Srimad Mahaprabhu sent a message to Sanatana Goswami from Tota Gopinath, calling him there. Sanatana Goswami went via the long route, through the scorching sand on the seashore. He did not take the shortcut through the main road, lest some priest should touch him and get defiled. Due to this, he got blisters on his feet. but he did not care for his pain. He was more concerned with others' feelings. Singhadwara jati mora nahi adhikar, Vishesh takorer tahan sebak prachar, sebek so gatagati koranabhishesh, karsahit sparshahoili morsa banashe. Sanatana Goswami said, I do not have the right to go through the lion gate, since the chief servants of Lord Jagannath use that entry. They are busy and engrossed in seva. If I touch anyone, he'll be defiled and I shall perish. They are the close confidants of Srimad Mahaprabhu. Yet see how humble they are. If we very badly want Bhakti Devi's kripa, we must be extremely humble like them. Otherwise, we shall never relish bhakti ras. Vivek, one moment you mentioned we should be like a tree that never protests even when it's cut, etc., etc. Tell me, if we do not protest when someone behaves unjustly, then does not it promote evil? The evildoer will gain more and more strength and ultimately destroy the world. I believe in the saying, the one who is unjust and the one who accepts injustice are both worthy of contempt. Great writers too have made such statements. Then why do you say it's good to be tolerant? Very good question. Any thinking person has to be thinking that. What about Kshatriyas? What about protecting? So let's see what the Gaur Kripa, the Guru, says. See, there are two ways of looking things. One is the material point of view, and the other is the spiritual point of view. The one who is unjust and the one who accepts injustice are both worthy of contempt. This statement has meaning in the material world and a different one in the spiritual context. We should understand that it refers to us, not to others. Let us discuss this point in detail. We must definitely protest, but against the evil in ourselves. If we notice a folly in ourselves, under no circumstance must we tolerate it. We must vehemently protest. If we find even a seed of material desire in us, we must censure and chastise ourselves. Vaishnav Jivani tells about a Bhajanandi Mahatma who is giving a discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam. He had a large audience. A breeze came and blew the sari off Mataji's bosom and revealed some part of her body. He saw this and was aroused. This Mahatma immediately forsook the Vyasasana and stood facing the audience. He said, "Look at me. All you think I am a Bhajananandi, yet I'm aroused in seeing the revealed bosom of a woman. In spite of this, you continue to think I'm a Bhajananandi? You mark me, I'm so lowly." Now you see what protesting against evil means. Vaishnav Jivani tells us another fact. A certain Mahatma promised, even if someone spits on me or throws stool and urine at me, I shall never tell anything. If I do, I shall cut off my head with this weapon. If I do not fulfill my vow, I will eternally perish in hell. I pledge in the name of Sri Bhagavan. He always kept a sharp knife with him, so that he may cut off his head if he broke his vow. See what protest means? It is very easy to speak up against all other evildoers. But what step do we take against the evil tendency in us? It is immensely difficult to recognize these tendencies. what to speak of protesting against them? We have come here to reform ourselves, not to reform others. If we want to protest, then it's better to protest against our own wrongdoings. If we want to discipline someone, let that someone be we. Let us reform ourselves. If we wish to pick faults, let us pick our own faults. Want to protest against the injustices in this world? When we ourselves are ridden with so many follies, how can we rid the world of its evil? When our own hearts are black, how can we purify others? We ourselves are in darkness. How can we hold the torch to others? We are in material bondage. How can we liberate others? We are so impoverished. How can we distribute the priceless treasure of prema to others? Are you talking of doing good to the world? If you want to do some good, then let us first think of our own well-being. If we cannot do good for ourselves, how can we do good for others? If we can't reform ourselves, then we should think we have really done some good in this world. If we become pure and attain prema in the lotus feet of the divine couple, we should realize we've done a lot of good for this society. The one who has memorized all the books and all the libraries of the world is not necessarily a well-wisher. If you can bear everything in silence, we are chaste. If we cannot, we are prostitutes. And Gaur Kripa continues. If our hearts are unclean, we cannot do well for humanity by protesting against injustice. Such acts give rise to enmity. The faulty person does not reform. Therefore, if we have the slightest wish to gain Bhakti Dev's mercy, we shall stop protesting against others. Instead, and we can see that, there may be causes, just causes, but you see people get into these causes and they become so intolerant, they become so hateful, they become so narrow-minded. So this instruction is actually quite relevant. Instead, we should seek our own flaws and get rid of them. The Lord of the world will worry for the world. I'm begging for my own upliftment. How dare I think of uplifting others? By the mercy of Sri Bhagavan, I manage to reform myself. Then I will not need to trumpet and drum to preach pure bhakti. It will happen on its own. This is why Mahaprabhu has ordered us to be as tolerant as a tree. If we can bear everything in silence, we are chaste. If we cannot, we are prostitutes. A sadhu is one who has forbearance. Then it quotes some verse. Doesn't even say where it's from. Vivekdas, you speak nothing but the truth. Nevertheless, I am unable to follow it. I don't even realize when I start seeing faults in a person and feel contempt for him. Please tell me an easy remedy to get rid of this disease. He just can't see this level of purity. Even when we hear it, it's a bhishma, it may be impossible. Gaur Kripa, the easiest way to practice the Trinada verse is to feel that God exists in everything. When he is present in everyone and everyone is present in him, then we shall not feel embarrassed to bow down before anyone. Whenever we meet a person, we should get into this mood. This is the best way to practice Trinada P. Along with this, we should chant constantly without any gap. At the same time, we should give up all aparads in body, mind, and speech. There is no other way to get Trinada P Bhav. If we do not follow this path, even if show humility, it will only be external. Inside our false ego will always hold its head high. Quote from Chaitanya Bhagavat, you must pay obeisances and have a lot of respect for all beings, be it a Brahmin, Chandala, a dog. It is the religion of the Vaishnavas to pay obeisance to everyone. A Vaishnava who does not obey this dictum is a cheat, Chaitanya Bhagavat. Vivek, by your mercy, I've understood that without practicing Trinada P, I can never enter into the realm of bhakti. Please tell me some more about what is necessary for bhakti. I shall be grateful to you. Gaur Kripa, in the path of bhakti as shown by Mahaprabhu, one point we can just not ignore is Guru Seva. In our Vaishnavism, Guru Seva is extremely important. In all other spiritual paths, once the sadhaka gains sakshatkar, there is no need for Guru Seva anymore. Then Guru merges into God. In Gyan Marg, in Yoga Marg, once you reach the top, it is Kon Guru, Kon Chela, Mon Hon Akela. Who is a Guru? Who is a disciple? I am alone with everything. However, in our sadhana, we have to serve Sri Gurudev during the sadhana and when we attain Siddha Sarup. In this state, the sadhaka body may perish, yet we will continue with Sri Gurudev's seva. Even when we are participating in the eternal pastimes of the divine couple, we continue with Gurudev's seva. Gurudev not only reaches us to our Ishta Dev, he takes his disciples with him, and together they engage perpetually in the eternal pastimes. When we meditate on our Siddha Deha too, we should engage ourselves in Sri Guru's seva and should serve the divine couple under his guidance. This is the last paragraph I'll read because I'm getting tired. As a sadhak, if we do not please Gurudev with our seva, it is impossible to get the seva of the divine couple in the Siddha Deha. To serve Sri Gurudev as non-different from Sri Bhagavan with body, mind, and speech is our foremost duty. Scriptures prove that Sri Gurudev is the form of Krishna, and Sri Krishna bestows mercy on the devotee in the form of Sri Gurudev. We can never reach our goal without Sri Gurudev's mercy. Thakur Mahasai said in the Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevalava Bhakti Sadma Pando Mui Sarvadhana Mate Chahara Pasare Bai E Baba Torio Yai Krishna Prapti Ho Yahat. Okay. We're up to the quote from Prem Bhakti Chandrika for next time. I could see I'm a little bit fatigued, so the brain won't work past this time. So, anybody else Jamuna Jaya, you started off?
Hare Krishna Raj, thank you for
Yeah.
class. Wow, this was very enlivening, and I'm going to listen to this one a few times. I think the story of the stool and the worm just really makes it so obvious. Like, how dare I look at that? We're the ones that created that. And then the worm actually does something good with it. And we think, oh, it's so
Right.
disgusting. But again, it's like, wow,
Yeah, great. Yeah.
it's
Interesting.
wonderful.
It's really a good book. It's
Yeah,
really,
it's
I first got it in this cheaply printed copy. I mean, like a pamphlet or something. Now I have it on my computer. Okay, anybody else like to say hello? Gail, you there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, what's up, Gail?
Yeah, couple things. One is, wouldn't you say that it can be counterproductive, right, to prematurely not try to require like respect for oneself, or to consider oneself like the worm and stool. I mean, if that's not your level of realization, can't it be counterproductive to your spiritual evolvement?
If someone psychologically has low self-esteem and he hears all these heavy preaching.
Well, a person might not be ready to see himself as the worm and stool, or be ready yet to say, oh, I don't need any respect from anybody.
He's saying this is prema. So this is a high realization. So
Right.
obviously it's not something that we can easily comprehend how it's possible. The only thing I'm suggesting is, again, this analogy, thirst. Thirst indicates we lack water. And thirst for bhakti, that thirst is bhakti. So the feeling we lack it becomes more intense and we become more humble, even though we're getting more and more of it. So that's how I tried to resolve the contradiction.
Okay, also, Maharaj, can you elaborate on that statement? If I'm not tolerant, I'm a prostitute.
I knew you would catch me on that one. I didn't, it skipped me by, If I'm not tolerant, I'll have to think about it for next week.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
My mind is, anybody else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna Gurudev.
Jai Shri Radhe, Haribo.
I wanted to thank you for this wonderful analogy that door to bhakti is low and narrow. It's really shining a bright picture for me now.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. Yes, a metaphor. Okay, whatever it is. Anybody else? Thank you, Jai Shri Radhe. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Garaj, Lal
And Braja,
thank you for class.
Great to see you both. Coming
Yes,
to
that was
class.
good.
thank you.
Thank you.
Got up early. I walked around. I was so hungry this morning because I get up early and the person who assists me, he brought these rotis from his house. They're more than rotis. They had meti in it.
Mm.
Mm.
I usually take one, but I took 4. And it energized me going around the hill. I wasn't
Yeah.
even about half, but I went around half. It's great, 2.5-hour walk, brisk.
Yeah, that's great.
Amazing.
Good. When I was back, though, I was pretty exhausted. I got to get prepared going for Mayapur now. And I'm going to go into Vrindavan tomorrow with Raghunath. He'll pick me up about 1 o'clock.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
stay overnight, do some things, give a donation that Radharani sent for Sridhar Mali,
Hmm.
and have some rotis and bless their new kid.
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh, they had another child?
Yeah,
Oh,
these
wow.
these poor people produce children and somehow figure out how to take care of them all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, and in the West, like one kid is overwhelming because you got to get him a cell phone and a college education and like a new car, so many new clothes and a computer and like, how can I check? And soccer lessons and dancing
Yeah.
lessons, take them every place, and like how can we even have one kid? It's like such a burden,
Right.
You have little kids and they run around outside, It's
Yeah.
like, and, it gives
Yeah.
something for the older children to do.
Yeah.
So in the midst of, a little bit financial crisis, because when the Sridhar died, then half the land his other brother wanted.
Oh,
Mm.
But one of them thinks they may have to go get a job. But I was there with Leela Vilasini, and this girl paints such nice pictures. One of
Hmm.
so she's gonna just put them on and sell them for them.
yeah.
They're okay.
Nice.
But those rotis, I went there. The food just over on the food just keeps pouring into my room.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, wow.
when do you leave for Mayapur?
I leave on Sunday. They built a new road to Mayapur, so now it's only 2.5 hours instead of 4.5.
Wow. Huh.
There's a double lane highway to Mayapur. I'll go with
Wow.
Sabyasachi, so I'll probably 12:55 is our plane. We'll probably be there at 3. We'll get into Mayapur by 5:36,
Mhm.
and then I have 3 weeks there. I like it too because I got my own room on top of the roof. I got one of the best places. From my room, I can see the yoga pit, Lord Chaitanya's birthplace.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
and
nice.
there's always fire yajnas being done outside my room because that's where their older son, Tamal, has this blessing business online.
Oh, right. Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Haribo. Anybody
All
else
All
say
right,
safe,
well,
hello?
safe travels.
safe travels.
Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Tota Gopinath here. Great to hear from you and all your upcoming
Yeah.
travels.
Right. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Haribo.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Shri Rupa, thank you for class.
Great to hear from you, Shrirupa. Haribo. Shrirupa, I had a thought today, right? That we don't have an accent. Everyone else has an accent. We speak English properly.
It's true. I was listening to Midori Erotica yesterday, and the
Yeah,
difference is quite clear.
isn't
We
it?
don't have an accent.
We don't have an accent. It's everyone else has an accent. We speak perfect English. This is the way it should be spoken, with enunciation in every syllable. Okay. Anybody else like to say hello? I actually had that thought today, by the way. But anyway, uh, anybody else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Hemala Tarrada.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Kishore.
Hey, Haribo. How's the weather down there? You're in the summer?
Yeah,
Almost summer.
beginning.
Yeah, beginning of summer. Still,
Yeah.
days are chilly.
And you're it looks like that's put up curtains there, some picture. Your house is getting nice, and it's great to have your own house and your own land, right? You have about how much land you have? How much?
1 acre.
1 acre.
1 acre.
That's a lot. And you're growing a lot of vegetables?
Yes, and flowers, many flowers.
Wow.
More flowers than vegetables this year. A lot of flowers for the
You
altar.
grow flowers for the deities there?
Yes.
Okay. Great. I like it here. I go out my room, I have tulsi. I can pick nice tulsi. It's nice. Okay. Anybody else like to say hello?
See you so
Nice to
much.
see you. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for
Yvette.
class, Maharaj. It's Yvette.
Hey,
Good to see
Haribo.
you.
Good to
Haribol.
see you. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you also in India soon. That's great.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna, calling in with an accent.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, it's Kishore Radha.
Hey. Okay.
Sorry.
Narayani, is that you?
Hare Krishna. Good to see you, Maharaj.
Is that your little abode in Switzerland?
That's my little abode. You can see your Guru Maharaj over there.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Great. Okay.
He's
Are you
actually
coming?
looking on my altar. So the altar is right opposite. So has a good view.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Are you coming to India anytime? Wow. Nice.
Yes, I'm going with Raghu and Kaustubha. I'm going to Mayapur. And then I will stay a little longer in Mayapur. And then actually my Guru Maharaj is coming and we stay 1 week in Mayapur and then we come to Vrindavan and Govardhan end of February. I hope I get to see you there.
Please, please. I can show you my new addition, the Govardhan Hilton.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah. And okay, great. End of February. Into March or just end of February?
No, last 2 weeks of February, I'll be with my Guru Maharaj, and before I will be in Mayapur. And the last week of January, I will be with Raghu and Kaustubha.
Oh, well, what's Cindy's name now?
Sita Sundari.
Sita Sundari. Will she come to India too?
She will
No.
be before at the Eco Village. She will only stay until Flower Festival.
Okay. All right. Well, please visit me at my ashram. Okay.
Certainly,
Thank-
definitely. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will. Good. Anybody else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, this is Krishnamrita. Thank you greatly for the class. Thank you so much.
Great, great. Thank you for coming to all the classes in both English and Russian. Great. Anybody else say hello? Okay, I'll just look down the list so I'll see all the people that. I'm
Hare
on.
Krishna.
Okay, I'll be with Yugala soon. That'll be fun. Okay.
I know. I know, Gurudev.
Okay. Anybody else say hello? Oh no, let me just look at the list.
Hi,
I'll see
Krishna
what-
Maharaj.
Hey, Mike.
I wanted to
Hello.
thank you for that line you've been dropping about you can't surrender in the past, you can't surrender in the future, you can only surrender now. It's really inspiring and like something that you can really carry throughout your day and help you. Like you get on that high horse because you might have surrendered like earlier in the day, but you take your will back. And like, I really appreciate that. Thank you for your wisdom.
Thanks for coming on, Mike. Great. Okay, great.
Krishna.
Okay, I'm looking at all the names, so I see you all. Thank you all. Okay, I will probably take rest now. Vanchakalpa Tarubhishta Kripa Sindhu Bhava Chapa